Hey guys, Ben here with the PointByPatrol. On my last video, it was an installation kind of how-to for installing the HEL Oil Cooler kit for the Civic Type R FL5. We did run into a couple issues there, the largest one being that the crash bars in the United States are made out of aluminum, whereas in other markets, likely Canada, definitely Great Britain, likely Japan as well, those units are made out of steel. They also have pre-drilled holes where the bracket could just bolt right into. I ended up having to drill into mine and secure it that way. So I shared those findings with the guys over at HEL Performance, and they have sent me another bracket to make modifications to and send it back to them so that they can copy the modifications and make another bracket for the guys here in the United States. So I'm working on that now, and I'll kind of let you know as we move through this what kind of changes need to be made. All right, so you can see here that I've already done the pre-work. I've removed the bumper as well as the crash bar. The oil cooler is sitting right here. I have not loosened these hose connections yet. I do actually have some additional help today. So this is going to leak. I've got an oil drain bucket here ready to catch any kind of oil leaks that come out of this. This is also the side bracket that I had to modify that goes to the crash bar support here that holds this hose as it goes around the corner. And one modification that I made last time, and I know it was hard to see on video, I've got some DEI heat shielding here, because I was worried about this little section rubbing against the frame as it cuts through. So I'm going to be making a change to that as well. The guys over at HEL Performance have sent me more of this, which is an abrasion resistant heat shrink. I'm actually going to slip that over this, heat shrink it to that, just for some added peace of mind, just to make sure that I don't run into trouble down the road, especially with all the harsh vibration of tracking the car. So I'm going to begin by loosening these. One thing to make note of, I have made some additional score marks here, and I hope you can see. We're actually going to be going based off of this lower score on the bracket that they've sent. I'm likely going to actually send this one back and keep the one that they sent me, since this one's already got the holes pre-drilled and it's already got my score marks on it, so that I don't have to uninstall and install it more than one time. Another thing to make note of, guys, is I'm very close to the edge here, and this is just a note to them, and I'll let them know it would help to have just a little bit more meat right here on this first hole. This wing here is not needed, so I'll grind that back. You guys will see kind of how it looks at the end when we go to reinstall everything. Okay, so here's the bracket off of my car. Decided that this is going to be the one that we're sending back for this reason. Obviously, when you overlap the two of them, you're going to be off just a touch. So overlapped like that, you can see that there's an additional lip there. So if I were to drill holes through that, they'd be in the wrong place. So they'll get the one that I modified originally, and I'll just make modifications to make the one that they sent me work for now. But you can kind of see here where we've drawn in some pencil marks. This outer score line is kind of a kill zone. Don't really need any of this material. We do kind of want a loop right here, as you can see. So we're going to do that on a 2x72 grinder. Shouldn't take very long at all. Okay, so here we have the modified bracket next to the original bracket. Again, I'm going to be sending back the bracket that is modified, since that had the drill holes in it initially. So I did put a radius here. You'll also need to have additional material here so that this is not this hole is not so close to the edge. So I put a little kind of spot here where the radius would form and kind of come out just a little bit more, so that it has a similar amount of meat between the hole and the edge, kind of like how they have here on the original bracket. So what I'll be doing then is I'll drill holes through this bracket so that I can go ahead and remount the oil cooler here in the meantime. But as I said before, this is the one that I'll be sending back, and just kind of as a cross comparison so that you can see, you know, cut off an entire wing. I had to cut into the logo a little bit, but this is what it should look like. I didn't show a video of me doing this, but I did use this is heat shrink anti-abrasive material here, fairly large, just slides right over the end of one of the oil cooler hoses, this one in particular, and I just did some heat shrinking around that piece of DEI heat wrap that I had, and so now I feel like it's fully protected there, just in case it rubs against the frame. All right, so just got done getting everything back into place, just checking for leaks. Got look down to there, see if there's clearance, look over here, make sure everything's good and back, which it is. And I also checked to make sure that there was clearance for the long hose going underneath the serpentine belt. The crash bar is back installed. Just got to reinstall the bumper at this point. This is the bracket going back to the guys over at HEL Performance. And aside from that, no leaks of any kind. All of the oil that we drained into that bucket, we poured right back into the motor, so we took out what we lost. All right, so final comments here. Just wanted to kind of show that hose routing again. You know, down here, it does get close to that pulley, but it's just far enough off that it won't hit it. Likewise with the other. You can kind of manipulate it down this hole here, just so that everyone is well aware. Also, with the return shipment with the bracket, I'm sending a drawing of the clip that holds the longer hose. It is basically on the lower part of the crash support where it bolts in. So they'll have that, as well as the new modified bracket here. So I'll get that sent back soon, keep everybody updated as far as when the new brackets are made, and readily available for those who have either purchased already or are planning on purchasing. I can say that in my time running with this oil cooler, just in the last week or so that I've had it installed, I haven't seen oil temperatures get above 200 degrees at all. In fact, I don't think I've seen them once climb above 197. So looking forward to taking it to the track, where we're gonna, you know, put a lot more load on the engine for a longer period of time, and see what the oil temperatures do then. I do appreciate everybody watching. Thank you.